again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Browns Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, but please call me Grizzer, and this is the spot where we'll get you caught up on some of the latest news, the headlines, the tidbits that are tied to our favorite team in the NFL. That is, of course, the Cleveland Browns, and then we will give you our take on the news along the way. Actual and factual, all served up in a glass that's half full. Thank you to everybody who's liked our previous episodes, all of you who have subscribed to the channel as we make our way towards 15,000 subscribers, and everyone who get your comments down there in the viewer comment section. I can't thank you enough. Now, I promise this show will be longer than a Ronda Rousey comeback fight, but shorter than the time Aaron Rodgers needed to decide to go back to the Steelers. So you got that going for you. But coming up, we're closing in on training camp, and I can already tell you what the fiercest camp battle will be this year, and it's not the quarterbacks. We found another factor that makes the Browns' schedule even more favorable than we first thought. There's one AFC North fan base that is absolutely petrified of the Browns' upcoming success this season. And then down in the viewer comments, the 6 reasons the Browns will be Super Bowl champions in 2026. Oh, okay. I mean, I got reasons. I might even have more than 6. Well, we got 6 reasons coming up in just a few minutes. But first things first, toughest camp competition. We got alliteration out of the gate, so we know we're in a good spot. It's not the quarterbacks. No way, Jose. The toughest camp competition this year will be in the wide receiver room. And here's why. I mean, we went from a wide receiver room that may have been the worst on the team when you look at all of the rooms to what might be the most competitive room now heading into this season. Here's your list. I mean, this isn't all of them, but here's the main. These are the main players. Jerry Jeudy, of course. He's the established veteran. Had a chance to be wide receiver 1 last year. Didn't really work out. He's more of a wide receiver 2. But now you bring in KC Concepcion, the highly touted rookie, first-round draft pick, and his explosive versatility. Denzel Boston, the towering rookie, provides size and physicality, a prime red zone threat. And then, after Isaiah Bond, potentially said Tillman, but I think Bond is ahead of Tillman, it gets a little dicey. You got Malachi Corley, Jamari Thrash, Tylan Wallace, who we brought in from Baltimore, who, because of that, he's a Monken guy. I would say he most definitely will have a roster spot locked up because he also returns kicks. Remember Gage Larvidan from last year, Luke Floria? I mean, just because Jeudy and Tillman are your most experienced veterans on this team, doesn't mean a whole lot because those are also your 2 top candidates to be traded this summer. So I think Tillman especially, he's probably the most tradable. He's going to earn $3.9 million this year after hitting a performance escalator in his contract. But none of that money's guaranteed. And so they could treat this situation like they did DeJuan Jones, and they could ask him to take a little more or a little less rather, if he wants to stay with us a little more. We've seen that happen before. Remember last year with Jerome Ford, they did the same thing. They're like, oh, well, if you want to stay on the team, you're going to have to take a pay cut. So they could do that with Tillman. The only real roster locks, Jeudy, Concepcion, Boston, and Bond, in my opinion. I think Tylan Wallace, because he's a core special teams player with direct ties to Monken from their time together in Baltimore. I think that he is also a lock. So if we're only keeping 6, we're already up to 5. So the rest of them will battle it out. Malachi Corley, Jamari Thrash. There's some undrafted rookie free agents that came in too. Aaron Anderson, the guy from LSU. This is going to be a battle for those last couple of spots in that wide receiver room. So it's going to be interesting to see the way it plays out. But I do think that Judy and Bond, well, of course, Concepcion in Boston, those are locks to make this roster. I think Tylan Wallace is a lock to make this roster. So I think you're going to have all of those guys fighting for one spot in the room, and it will make for what I think will be the toughest camp competition this summer. Now, something else that we've talked about that is not tough is the Browns' schedule. We keep coming up with all these favorable schedule factors that keep making the Browns' schedule even easier. We talked about them before the schedule release. We're talking about them now after the schedule release. They keep coming out because now that you know when and where you're playing, there's some other factors that come to light. And this favorable schedule factor is a massive one because it talks about net rest. And you're like, Dave, what is net rest? Well, it's the rest you get based on your schedule. So how many times do you have to go on the road back to back, travel times, all these other things they take into consideration. But net rest or net rest differential is the cumulative difference in days of rest a team gets compared to its opponent across the season. So who gets a little more rest coming into the game than the team you're playing? It's a positive number means more recovery or prep time on average. Negative means more short weeks or disadvantages. So here in graphic form. So the best edges when it comes to net rest, remember a positive number is good. Anything like plus 10 to plus 16 or more, you're really good. The worst, anything like minus 10 to minus 24. But then you also have teams that are right there in the middle, extremely balanced, perfectly balanced. And so there's nothing wrong with that. So if you can't have a plus number, you want to be right there in the middle because you're balanced in this situation. And so who has the best net rest numbers heading into this season? Well, it's not us, but it's not so bad because the Bears, the Bills, the Cowboys, the Commanders, and the Patriots they're in the best situation when it comes to net rest. They're all big positive numbers. Then the bottom, you got the Chargers, the Eagles, Las Vegas, the Jets, and the Saints. And then look there, right smack dab in the middle. The Cleveland Browns, surrounded by San Fran and Tampa Bay. And so the net rest differential of negative 0.5 for the Browns is essentially a perfectly balanced schedule. It's the statistically equivalent of even for practical purposes. And so what this means is it adds up to about a half day less rest or prep time versus their opponents for the entire 17-game season. So just a half a day. That's all it is. Really, it's even. And so it's a favorable schedule factor. And the team that has almost exactly the same number of rest days, short weeks, and recovery opportunities as their opponents face. Any single game disadvantage, like a Thursday night, like a short week, are offset by advantages elsewhere. So remember, we already said we have the least amount of air miles that we will travel this year. And so anything, as you go through this schedule and there's a negative rest factor, there's a positive rest factor to balance it out the whole way through. So we are perfectly balanced. Another favorable schedule factor for us heading into this season. So, on top of the fact that we have a guy who understands, our defensive coordinator, completely understands the NFC South, who we're playing this year. So all of those teams are already at a disadvantage. We have a coaching staff that came over from Baltimore and understands the AFC North. We get to play all of the dome teams in the second half of the season outside in the cold and the snow. Add this to the list of advantages that we have. Net rest days. We're minus 0.5. We're basically dead even on rest. And so we will be more rested than the majority of our opponents as well. And ironically, we get to play Pittsburgh. Remember, they're coming off of that international game. No bye week. They're coming off the Paris game and then coming to us. So we have that advantage. They're going to be dealing with international travel and then have to come and play us. And so it all lines up. It's all lining up for what will be a fantastic season. The Brownies, I've already said they're going 13-4. They are going to have quite a year. A very successful season is loading here in Cleveland. Now, we're excited about that. But one fan base that is absolutely petrified of the Browns' upcoming success this season is the Baltimore Ravens fan base. It's crazy. Like the Ravens fans are getting in the comments. They are so scared of the Browns' success. And there's valid reasons why they are. And let's start with our head coach, who was their offensive coordinator. And their quarterback, for all intents and purposes, chased them out of town. Had something to do with the Harbaugh decision, too. And now all those guys are gone. Not only are those two guys gone, but all of the offensive coaches are gone too. Let's break this down. This is why the Baltimore fan base is so afraid. They're getting in the comments, Monken wasn't any good. Oh, Monken, we didn't like Monken. But when you look at what Monken has done over there, in those 3 years he was there, and then look at what he did at Georgia. I mean, he turns offenses around and turns them into juggernauts. And so all these fans are going, oh, he wasn't any good. He didn't do anything for Lamar. Oh, yeah? You keep telling yourself that. But here's the way it played out. So you had the owner go to the players, including Lamar Jackson. And Jackson sounded off a bit. And talked to all the veteran players about the situation, what was going on with Harbaugh and Monken. And Harbaugh and Monken aren't there anymore. Then, how about this? If Baltimore was such, say, after Harbaugh and Monken were gone, why wouldn't they fight to stay in Baltimore if they wanted to stay and work with Lamar Jackson? Why wouldn't they fight? Why wouldn't they fight it and say, let's see if the new coach will keep us around? Nope. They all pieced out for Cleveland instantly, which left Harbaugh looking for a new coordinator. He wanted Monken. If Monken was so bad in Baltimore, why would Harbaugh want it? All that pressure in New York. Harbaugh was waiting for Monken to make his decision on the head coach because he wanted to bring him to New York and be the offensive coordinator. If Monken was so bad in Baltimore, like these fans are trying to say, why did Harbaugh want him to come to the pressure-packed Big Apple, his first job after Baltimore, in the Big Apple, New York City, where the media will eat you alive? Why would he want Monken to be his offensive coordinator if Monken was so bad in Baltimore? Explain that to me, Baltimore fans. You're scared. You're scared. Harbaugh knew it was less appealing to bring in somebody else. He wanted Monken. Explain that. Then you had the Baltimore pivot, which is after Harbaugh left. You had all of these holdovers, these coaches that were holdovers, with no guarantee what was going to happen with the new coach. And like I said, they could have fought and said, hey, can we at least talk to the new coach? We love it here. We want to work with Lamar. Can we talk to him and tell him we'll all stick together and stay with Lamar and just get us an offensive coordinator? They didn't do that. They followed Todd Monken to Cleveland. They pivoted from Baltimore to Cleveland to stay with Monken. So again, Baltimore fans, explain this to me. You get in the comments all the time and tell me, oh, Monken's terrible. Oh, we wanted him out of here. Monken stinks. Monken this, Monken that. But you know what? Take a look at this. These are all the Baltimore coaches that came over to stay with Monken. Thank you, Baltimore. We appreciate it. Thank you for creating the revamped Browns. Travis Switzer, who was the Ravens' run game coordinator, is now the Browns' offensive coordinator. George Warhop, we talk about him regularly on this show. He is the offensive line coach and a good one. Danny Breyer, he was the Ravens' pass game coordinator. Now he's the Browns' pass game coordinator. Ian Colston, the Ravens' offensive QC analyst. He will do the same thing here. So if all of these guys saw this breakdown in Baltimore between Lamar and Todd Monken and Harbaugh and his old geriatric ways and other, why would they just go to? Why wouldn't they go to Harbaugh? Why wouldn't they all run to Harbaugh? Why did they stay with Monken? Do you know why? Because Monken is the man. That's why. And now he's our man. He's here in Cleveland. And the Baltimore fan base is so afraid of the upcoming success of the Cleveland Browns that the only thing that they can do now is get in the comments and try to tell me how bad Monken is. But all I do is I go back and I research Todd Monken, and all I can find is his teams average 26 points a game. His teams average almost 15 points a game in the second half. Monken, known for best second half adjustments, most second half points. Monken, known for adapting his offense to the players that he has. All of this stuff, all of this positive stuff we haven't seen here in Cleveland in years. And when all of the coaches leave Baltimore and follow Monken to Cleveland, to me, that says it all. And so now the Baltimore fan base is so scared because they know you don't know what you got until it's gone. And guess what, Baltimore? It is gone. It is long gone. So have fun with your Kevin Stefanski-like offense over there. I mean, you chased guys out of town that were just perennial winners, and you let them fall right into our lap. Appreciate it. Pittsburgh, too, we talked about this. I don't understand how you let a guy who got you to the playoffs every single season he was there, you run him out of town, Mike Tomlin. I don't get it, man. You guys. So Pittsburgh's the second most scared fan base, and in Cincinnati, it's like we beat them all the time anyway, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I could be the coach. We're gonna beat Cincinnati, but yeah. Baltimore Ravens fans, man. No, I don't feel sorry for you at all. I mean, I'm glad that you're scared. You should be scared because the Browns are coming. The Browns are coming for you, baby. It's going to be so fun watching us beat them twice every year, watching us beat Pittsburgh twice every year, and then, of course, we beat Cincinnati all the time. So that won't be that different. But it's going to be a lot of fun watching us beat down Baltimore with their own people each and every season from here on out. Now, something else that we never beat down are the viewer comments because they always pick us up. We will start today with Eric Keller 2413. Now, this is the first ever viewer comment that gets a bonus comment because Eric put two things in and it involves the prediction pen. So a rare non-Saturday appearance upcoming from the prediction pen. So stick around. Eric Keller, his first comment was talking about the Myles Garrett, the pass rushing duos, Bleacher Report, ranking us 7th, and which I think is a travesty. I don't think they did their due diligence on this. But Eric Keller says, that was a grade on our starting players on the defensive box, meaning they grade everything. Linebackers that take end snaps, everything. And when you grade the rooms, we are 7. Myles is better than any, but after that, look at defensive tackle. We got a good one, plus Aiden, meaning Hutchinson, as well as But those guys are strong run guys, is what he's saying. Not huge sack totals. And then the other end is a developmental third rounder who should be a 10 sack guy because of Miles. But that's what we are. It's a one-man band because Miles gets over 1/3 of the sacks and the rest of the team. But here's the thing. They're looking at last year. Don't forget, we have Malik Collins on that defensive front. We got Mason Graham, Mike Hall. This was last year. Graham's a rookie. We brought in Kalia Davis this year. They're looking at last year. We've got the defensive rookie of the year. You want to talk about linebackers taking end snaps? There you go. We got Carson Sweshinger. We added one of the top safeties. And you don't think he's going to blitz a little bit and help this pass rushing duo? Create more one-on-ones? I mean, this Bleacher Report thing, do your homework, man. If you're going to do these rankings, man, do them based on the current situation, not last year. It's just outdated information, Eric. So, we're just going to agree to disagree on this one, Eric, because I just don't think Bleacher Report, they need to be better than that. They need to look at the whole picture. I mean, we racked up, we were third in sacks last year, and somehow we have the seventh best pass rushing duo. We had third in sacks last year. We have a defensive coordinator who's better. We've added a couple of key pieces to this defense, but somehow we're seventh. It doesn't make any sense. But then Eric Keller doubled down. He's apparently not a fan of the prediction pen. Because then Eric Keller asked, does anyone else leave when Dave starts playing with the pen? My response to Eric, we'll ask the pen. So we'll find out. Let's find out right now if anybody else leaves. Ready? Prediction pen. I know it's not your typical work day, but please stay with me. Prediction pen for Eric Keller, 2413. Can you answer this extra bonus question this week? The question is, prediction pen. Does anyone else leave besides Eric Keller when Dave starts playing with a pen? Dude, no way. So Eric Keller, you are the only one who leaves when prediction pen. You heard the prediction pen's feelings. He likes to give his opinions on things that are related to the Browns. That's all it is. It's a fun little thing we do. Because it's Saturday and it's fun. It's the weekend. We don't want to think. So we let the pen do the thinking for us. So Eric Keller, the answer to your question is no. According to the pen, you're the only one who leaves when I start playing with the pen. I thought that was funny. I thought that was great. So I appreciate it, Eric. Hey, great take. I see where you're coming from on the defense thing, but I just wish that when they do these ranking things, they make me nuts. Please, when they do these rankings, do them on the current situation. Don't just look at last year and go, oh, the Browns. Crazy. Anyway, this is great. Teresa Hauk HR6BP. Is she HR? Is she from Human Resources? Teresa Hauk says, hey, Grizz, here's a fun little fact to ponder. In the 2025 season, Todd Monken's offense averaged 26.1 points per game on the road. Let's give that number to our defense. Things are looking good for the Browns, and for the naysayers out there, Lamar Jackson missed two of those games. He missed two of those away games. They still averaged 26 points on the road. Oh, yeah, we have reason to be hopeful. For sure. There's no doubt in my mind. That's what I'm saying. All this stuff. It all adds up to what's going to be a phenomenal year in Cleveland. The stars are aligning for the Browns. And that's what I'm saying about with Monken. Like, if Monken was so bad, like these Baltimore fans like to get in the comments and try to tell me, which I know is not true, with stats like this, like Teresa Hauk is throwing out. Like, I find all these same stats. People, these Baltimore fans, they're so scared. They have to get out. Oh, Monken was bad. You know he was terrible. I'm like, okay, well, what was he bad at? Because everything I see was good. Top 5 in second half points, 26 points a game on the road, even without Lamar Jackson. Like, I mean, I don't know. Sounds pretty good to me. Like, it's okay, Baltimore. You could be scared. It's fine. Be scared. I know you're scared. It's okay. We're just going to accept the fact that we're going to beat you down twice every single season now for the next, 50 years. Pittsburgh, too. I just want you. I'm trying to prepare you for this. I know you're scared. It's okay. If you need a hug, seek me out. I'll give you a hug. I mean, I'm not going to be a jerk about it. Like, I know you need a hug, Baltimore fans. I will provide you a hug, but that's it. We're still going to beat you down each and twice every season. So it's going to be fun with your own people. That's the best part about it. Your own people. Crazy to think. Isn't it ironic? You guys stole our team and now we will beat you down with your own coaches. That's great. You talk about coming full circle. There we go. It just happened. Joyrider 8882. The only thing the Browns are required to do every year is to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, period. Yep, and Baltimore. Cincinnati we beat all the time anyway, so we don't really have to add them to the list. But yes, 100%. So it's going to be fun. I don't like Aaron Rodgers coming back. Like, who cares, man? 42 years old. That's what they're hanging their head on. Woo, yay, Rodgers is coming back. We're going to be reunited with Mike McCarthy. Okay, good luck. They're going to be so bad. They don't even have a running back. They're going to be so bad, Pittsburgh. It's going to be we are going to destroy them. Our defense against old man Rodgers. Are you kidding me? Give me a break. David Portis 979. This is what we teased at the top. David Portis with a detailed reasons as to why the Browns will be Super Bowl champions. David Portis says, repeat and break, Grizz, talking about Myles Garrett, repeating as the defensive player of the year. He says, I love the show and all of the factual and positive information that you bring to the table. Thank you. You're very welcome, David Portis. We are glass half full, actual and factual. We always serve it up in a glass that's half full, but we report the facts and we respect the truth. And then we give you our take. I tell you a fact and then I give you my take on it. That's it. It's all factually based. But I continue with David's take. He says, Myles will repeat and break his own sack record, and here's why. New head coach with something to prove. New offensive line upgrades. Wide receiver upgrades. A head coach that believes in Shedeur Sanders. And add that up, and you get an offense that's scoring more points. I completely agree. Then he continues. Those are the first four reasons. Reason number 5 is the new defensive coordinator that believes in attacking. The young safety to put receivers on lockdown. Add that up, you get more blitzing, so more one-on-ones, for more one-on-one opportunities for Myles, and more time because there's no one for their quarterback to throw to because no one is open. Then the cherry on top is the ease of the schedule. So when you add it all together, you get Myles repeating and breaking his own sack record, and the Browns as your Super Bowl champions. Go Browns, you heard it here first. Well, I bet them to get there. David, maybe it's in the name. Maybe because it's the name David. We all stick together and how we feel about the Browns. But, 10 wins is the floor for me with this team. And the playoffs are, to me, a lock this year. We're winning the division. I've already bet them to win the division. 6.5 wins. I've already bet that. I got them at 8.5. I haven't been able to find them at 10 in the sports books, the apps that I use. But if they ever put it up there, I'm betting them to win 10. So it's happening, folks. It is definitely happening. Timothy West -1111. Should I make a wish? Okay, made a wish. It's Timothy West 1111. Everybody make a wish. Timothy West 1111. Okay, Grizz, you're struggling trying to do Justin Timberlake. Remember every time Al Cuddyback is in the comments, I can't help but think "Sexy Back" by Justin Timberlake. So I sing Al Cuddyback. Those other brothers don't know how to act. But Timothy West says this. He says, I'm struggling with Timberlake. So he says, maybe use John Sebastian's Welcome Back Kotter theme song instead. So he's saying I should go, Cuddy back, do your dreams or your ticket out. Ironically, I met a guy the other day whose name is Gabriel. Why? His parents were huge Welcome Back Kotter fans. So Gabriel Kaplan was the star of that show. And I told him, I said, wow, that's really interesting. I said, just be glad it wasn't Horseshack, because one of the characters on that show was named Horseshack. So, Gabriel could have been Horseshack. So he dodged a bullet there. But ironic, I thought that was funny. Timothy West, I just happened the other day. I was working the Guardians game. I met a guy named Gabriel. I go, oh. And he said, yeah, my parents were big Welcome Back Kotter fans. I'm like, all right, that was interesting. And we will end today with, it's a handle of all handles. Stan rocked in the cradle of the deep. Stan rocked in the cradle of the deep is the handle. And Stan simply says, Army hooah from Navy hooyah. Remember I mentioned my wife, Army nurse. My wife was Army, but Stan, Navy. Ironically, my brother-in-law, Marine. So we got everybody covered. One of my wife's really good friends, Air Force. So there we go. Hoo-yah, hoo-ah, all of it. I remember I love those chants. It was great. But I appreciate it. Thank you for your service, Stan. Thank you very much. All right, that'll do it for today's show. Told you we'd be shorter than an Aaron Rodgers decision, but longer than a Ronda Rousey fight. So there we go. All right, thank you so much. OTAs, we're on the cusp of them. Here we go, baby. It is go time. Go Browns! We'll see you next time.